why I should continue to thank God. Time will not permit me to take you on a historical excursion to my background. Perhaps you will understand better. But let me say, and one thing you must know is that we are created, all of us, we are created not for our own selfish interest, but to add joy and happiness to the life of others. And so when anybody or anything adds joy or happiness to your own life, the best you can do is to show gratitude for that. I asked a question in church. I said, who? If I ask you, and even here I know it's the same answer, who can I pinpoint as the person who has added joy and happiness to my own life? And we all know the person. His Excellency Ezewonye Somwike and his wife. So I will say again, Your Excellency, I am very grateful, myself, my family, Elelewa community, Obiabo, and indeed River State. We are grateful to you. Aside that, I will also express my gratitude to the community. Elelewa has been wonderful. I don't believe in reincarnation. But if reincarnation exists, everybody here present, I will want to come from Elelewa again. I was elected to represent Obiabo in the 7th Assembly. After that, I did not expect I would go back to House of Reps. For he made it possible. After the second term, I forgot about third term. But again, he stood by me and said, look, I would want to finish with you. And we went back, and because of his presence, the people of Obiabo accepted. It is not my popularity. For this term, all of us that are leaders, we are also aware of what happened. The only thing I will say, let me not take much time because I have a lot, but the only thing I will say is that I stand to reassure the people of Obiabo Federal Constituency in particular, and indeed the entire state, that I will never fail you.
Delivering this sermon, Venazubike Ugoha urged people to be steadfast and resilient.
What is Thanksgiving? Professor Alexander Walker, one of the foremost English experts, who is the author of New Webster International Dictionary, Encyclopedic Edition, defined the Thanksgiving in 4 ways. He said, number 1, Thanksgiving is the act of giving thanks to God. Number 2, Thanksgiving is the expression of gratitude to Him or to somebody that helped you to come up in life. It's not only to God. God uses men to put you where you are. There is no self-made man. What you are, where you are, somebody helped you to be there. And when you forget it, you are biting the finger that fed you. So as you thank God, you also appreciate those who supported you. Even your driver should be appreciated. If he decides to arrange for your kidnapping, you will be kidnapped. You will be in the kidnapper's den. You don't know when the election ended. Appreciate your food. If he collects money and poison your food, you will be like Tunde Idiamo who drank tea and died.
In his remarks, the FCT Minister Chief Nyesom Wike stated that OK Chinda is a consistent and grateful person whom he would always support, unlike ungrateful individuals who pretend.
Coming out to make this occasion of birthday and reception of a illustrious son, a dependable son, a consistent person. And I plead with the Speaker, all the Assembly people, everybody here, to remain and give support to what our brother is doing. Okay, Chinda has merely said how he worked with me and how God has blessed him through me. God bless you because God knows you are a grateful person. Because God knows you are a straightforward person. Because God knows you are a consistent person. So many people find excuses to do whatever they want to do. I am proud to come from Obiako.
As you go through us, you will pay that.
You can see those of us who are really from Obiako. I know there's so many people who are not from Obiako who claim they are from Obiako. But our characters will know them. Coming up.
Present in the Thanksgiving and birthday celebration includes the FCT Minister, Yesom Wike, Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, able represented, and other political prominence both from the federal and state and the local columns. Amongst the celebration, Honorable O.K. Chinda and was honored and certified as a Grand Patron designate of Abiakpo Boys Brigades Battalion by the Chairman of Abiakpo Battalion Council, including a prayer of dedication and service hook on behalf of the celebrants. Honorable Ogundu Chinda has cut the birthday cake as well. At the reception held at the River State Television Complex, Honorable Ogundu Kingsley Chinda lauded the FCT Minister, Ezenwo Yesom Wike, for his kind gesture and support through his political career. On his part, the FCT Minister pledged his continuous support to maintain that Honorable O. Kingsley Chinda is a man with the fear of God who is prepared to serve. Stakeholders at the Thanksgiving service, while lauding leadership of Honorable O. Kingsley Chinda, said he is a source of inspiration to both politicians and well-meaning citizens of Rivers State and Nigeria in general. Niger Delta Development Commission says it will collaborate with the Bayelsa State government to train youth in aquaculture at the multi-million naira Bayelsa Aquaculture Village in Yenogwa, local government area of the state. The NDDC Executive Director of Project, Victor Aintai, disclosed this when he visited the Bayelsa State-owned aquaculture farm, accompanied by the NDDC Director Agric and Fisheries, Mrs. Winifred Madum, the Director of the Procunium, Dr. Wick Odaidi, and other directors of the Commission. A statement issued in Port Harcourt by NDDC Director Corporate Affairs, Pius Aukakbotani, the NDDC Holistic Opportunities Project and Enlargement Engagement Programs has agriculture as its the key component. Traditional rulers in Delta State have pledged to assist security agencies in smoking out killers of military force officers in Okoma community in Delta State. The monarchs describes the killing as the unprovoked and barbaric, which led to the death of the officers on rescued mission. Rising from the meeting of the Delta State Council of Traditional Rulers in Asaba, the monarch, in a 5-point communique issues at the end of the meeting, condemned the killing. Council chairman and Ora DJ of Okbe, Major General Felix Mojakborero Oreru while commiserating with the immediate families of these slain officers. The Nigerian Army and the Federal Republic of Nigeria prayed that God grants their souls eternal rest. The Delta monarch called on the Delta State government to set up an independent investigative panels of inquiries to ascertain the immediate and remote cause of the communal crisis between the Okwama and Okoloba community, and also appeal to the Nigerian army to carry out their search for the perpetrators of the killings of the giants officers in line with global best practices. They call on the members of the public to stop padding falsehood and unsustainable claim, as such action could further exacerbate the already fragile peace in the states. Abia State Governor Alex Otti says the state 400 billion naira loan should be reduced to barest minimum to enable the state government to use the state internally generated revenue to gradually refund the loans. Otti, who disclosed this at the special presentation of the outcome of the state's 2 days retreat for IGR stakeholders in the ministries and departments in the state, also charged the participants to craft an enduring strategies that would lead to the improvement in the state IGR to make the states facially visible. He said in other claims that government-generated income used to run the economy, why it was a minor for the subnational to go to the center cap in hand for allocations. 2 policemen attached to Mopo 18 Owerri, Imo State, were killed by gunmen in Okigwe area of state. Police said the gunmen suspected to be the members of the prescribed indigenous people of Biafra and its affiliate Instant Security Network through dynamite at the police patrol van and engaged the policemen in a gunfight along Old Garike Road, and during the exchange of the gunfire, 4 other policemen sustained multiple injuries during the incident. The police spokesperson Henry Okoye, who confirmed the incident, said 2 officers paid the ultimate price while 4 others survived the attack. Okoye said the Commissioner of Police, Aboki Danjuma, condemned the attack, while the Commissioner and the Commander, Mopo 18 and 64, and immediately led the men of the Command Special Tactical Unit to the crime scene for an on-the-spot assessment. Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah says his administration will generate and distribute electricity in the state by the end of 2026. Mbah, who disclosed this plan of his government to tackle the challenges of epidemic power supply to businesses and residents of the state at a town hall meeting with various stakeholders, said his administration will tackle all legal and regulatory issues in actualizing the objective. He also said the ongoing legal project is aimed at repositioning the educational sector. Ex-students of David Umahi Federal University of Health Science, Uburu, in Ebonyi State have been expelled from the institution, while 23 others are facing disciplinary action for breaching the institution's moral guidelines. The Vice-Chancellor of the institution, Professor J.C. Uneke, who disclosed this during the 3rd matriculation ceremony of the 2023-2024 academic section, spoke extensively on the vision of the institution to raise quality graduates, adding that the university maintained very strict discipline. The VC commended President Bola Tinubu, the state governor, Francis Nwefuru, the founder of the institution, who is now the Minister of Works, David Umahi, and the host community for their support. Meanwhile, the university matriculated over 800 students in 14 various departments and awarded cash gifts to the best performing students. People's Democratic Party in Osun State says it will arrest 25 state officials listed for unofficial arrest and adoption by special security team from Abuja. A release signed by the Osun PDP chairman Sunday BC said the security team will carry out the arrest plan to commence work in the new week without a warrant of arrest. The PDP chairman called on the Police Service Commission and the Department of State Service to avoid political participants and ensure becoming an instrument of political vendetta and violences in the hands of those seeking pounds of flesh because they lost a fresh and fair governorship election. But responding in another statement, Osun APC Chairman Tajudan Lawal described PDP allegation as baseless and a mere fabrication to avoid answering partisan question regarding the contract procurement process supervised by the Adeleke government. Lawal stated that apprehensions being exercised by the Osun PDP was part of the plea to mightify the issues surrounding how the government of Osun recently awarded over 50 billion naira road contract to unqualified companies and cronies of the party with no technical and professional competence to execute road projects. Osun State government has inaugurated a cybercrime action committee to give effect to relevant provision of the law with respect to cybercrimes, cyberbullying, and deliberate online false news. A statement by the Commissioner for Information and Public Engagement, Kolakba Alimi, said the move was meant to tackle the perseverance of fake news in Osun State, adding that the step became necessary to sanitize the government space and ensure that politicking and governance has placed under an atmosphere of the responsibility, decency, and honesty. The development was coming on the heel of the war on social media platforms between supporters of ruling People's Democratic Party and the opposition All Progressives Congress on issues relating to governance in the state, while the exchange offense delegated two names calling among members of two parties. The commissioner also said the increasing wave of fake news negatively affected both the government and the opposition, stressing that the time has come that all operators will be brought within the compass of the law. 6 suspected cultists have been arrested in Ikbetu, Ijesa, Osun State, while traveling to south part of the country. Police said the suspects were in the process of boarding a vehicle in Ikbetu, Ijesa, going to Hill Oluji, from where they intended to join another one that would take them to Delta State. When some Eagle's Eyes residents that were suspicious of their movement informed police operatives from anti-cultism unit of the Osun State Police Command. The police also said arms and ammunition were recovered from the suspects after operatives warned on them before they left the premises of the motor park, while the vehicles they wanted to board was headed to Ile Ojuiji in Ondo State, and people around were suspicious of them and they informed the police. Executive Secretary Ekiti State Forestry Commission Sunday Adekunle said the commission is raising 6,000 trees seeding to fight deforestation as part of effort to boost plantation farming and fight deforestation in the state. Adekunle said the seedings of various species will be sold to interested members of the public at subsidized rates and also planted at the graded part of the forest reserve in states, adding that the rate of deforestation and climate change derived Wilfred insulting, resulting in loss of about 10 million acres of forest yearly global, was worrisome and unacceptable. Adekunle, who disclosed this in Ado-Ekiti at an event with the theme Forest and Innovation, New Solution for a Better World to mark the 2024 International Day of Forests, said no stone will be left unturned in a bid to end deforestation and illegal activities in Ekiti Forest, and commended the Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji for taking the bold step to address the ugly trend in deforestation and illegal activities of some unscrupulous loggers. Defense Headquarters says TROP has rescued and adopted pupils and teachers of LEE School, Akuriga, in Chinkon local government area in Kaduna State within Zamfara State. This is coming after a March 7, 2024, about 287 pupils and teachers of the schools were adopted by suspected terrorists who took them into the forest, and their adopters subsequently requested a ransom of 1 billion naira for each release, setting a deadline of March 27, 2024 for the payment. But the Director of Defense Media Operation, Major General Edward Buba, in a statement said the victims were rescued in the early hour of Sunday by the troop with support from local authorities and government agencies, adding that they would be conveyed to Kaduna where they would be handed over to the state government. The rescued hostage, totaling 137, comprised of 76 females and 61 males who were rescued in Zamfara State and will be conveyed and handed over to Kaduna State government for further action. The rescue of the Kaduna pupils is coming a day after troops rescued 16 pupils, with a woman taken hostage in Gada, LGA of Sokoto State. Suspected bandits have allegedly killed a politician simply identified as Alaji Lado in Marwa village, Faskiri, local government area of Katsina State. Eyewitness said the attack occurred in a village mosque while worshippers were observing Ramadan prayers, adding that the victims was killed when they refused to take orders from his murderers. One of the survivors of the mosque attack said the attackers kidnapped the wife and 2 daughters of Allah Jelado, adding that Katsina is one of the worst hit states by bandits, and any attempt to keep the criminals in check have not yielded the desired results. The Katsina State Police Command is yet to react to the unfortunate development. Defense Headquarters says troops of Operation Handarin Daji have rescued 16 Al-Majris and women adopted in Gada, local government area of Sokoto State. This is coming after some terrorists had invaded the LGA on March 9, 2024 and kidnapped the rescued victims. A statement by the Director of Media Operations, Major General Boba Edwards, said the troop with local authorities and government agencies would work together to ensure the freedom of the hostage. Police in Bauchi State have rescued 3 suspects for alleged criminal conspiracy, threat to life, criminal intimidation, and attempted kidnapping. SP Hamad Waki, spokesperson of the command who disclosed this in a statement in Bauchi, said the command in the fight against kidnapping and other heinous crime continue to yield positive results. According to the police, the caller threatened to mobilize his gang to kidnap either Yahaya, specifically on the family members, while the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Hual Musa, after the hit, directed the Criminal Investigation Department to discreetly investigate the circumstances surrounding the reports. The spokesperson said an interrogation was conducted with the suspect who allegedly voluntarily confessed to the crime act, adding that they would be charged to court for prosecution. Stampede during an out-given zakat for the poor in Bauchi State has led to death of 4 people. The stampede occurred at the Hasfal Holding Company's place headquarters along Jos Road, and 17-year-old identified as Naizma Abdullah is currently receiving medical treatment at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital in Bauchi. Confirming the incident, the police public relations officer in the state, Ahmed Wakiri, said the situation has been stabilized while the police acting swiftly, and the police commissioner has urged the public to stay imposed and law-abiding. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf said his administration allocates only 1.97 billion naira and not 6 billion naira for the Ramadan feeding program. The governor, who disclosed this in a statement on his X handle, said the actual amount for the program is a sum of 1.97 billion naira for the whole month. He expressed his disappointment during an unscheduled inspection of feeding center at Gizan Mazar municipal local government area and criticized the program handlers for what he perceived as their failure to adequately serve the intended beneficiaries. Several people are fed dead in a clash between rival youth in Mekan local government area of Plateau State. The clash started on Saturday night between Tyro and Motola youth in the locality and lasted till the early hour of Sunday. The State Commissioner for Information, Musa Ashums, who confirmed the development in Jos, blamed the situation on disputed land in the area which escalated to the point that people lost their lives while other persons were receiving treatment at the hospitals. He advised the people to always explore alternative dispute resolution mechanisms in resolving their differences and refrain from taking the laws into their hands, while the State Police Public Relations Officer Alabo Alfred said security operatives have been deployed to the trouble area while investigation over the incident continues. You are watching Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Return after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is Transition on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. Defense Headquarters says it will place the banner containing the names and the pictures of people wanted in strategic locations across the country. This is coming after the DHQ has earlier declared wanted to fewer than 97 persons, including terrorists and insurgents, among others, for allegedly being behind violent crimes in the country. Among those declared wanted is Finland-based Simon Ekpa, who is the factional leader of indigenous people of Biafra and also served as acclaimed Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, adding that the IPOB factional leaders has consistently called for a sitters home in the southeast and often makes statements considered as citing against the government and military personnel. The Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa, while appearing before the House of Representatives in November 2023, had described Ekpa as a menace to Nigeria. The Director of Defense Media Operation, Major General Edward Buba, said the names and pictures of the people declared wanted were those of suspected terrorists in the north, east and northwest, as well as insurgents in the southeast and the north central. The statement also said 43 persons were declared wanted in the northwest and 33 persons for the northeast, ranged by Boko Haram and Islamic State for West African province terrorists, while 21 insurgents and violence criminals were declared wanted in the southeast and north central regions. Indigenous people of Biafra has faulted the Nigerian military authorities for declaring its head of the Directorate of the State, Chika Edoism, wanted. Alongside other bandits and terrorists, the pro-Biafran group said demand for Edoism with other bandits and terrorists is an insult to the IPOB global family. A statement issued by IPOB spokesman Emma Powerful said they would not be intimidated by the blackmail from the federal government in their self-determination movements to restore the Biafra nation, adding that linking Simon Ekpa, Zuma, Temple, and others to their gentle leaders Mazi Chika Edoism is a total reckless attitude of Nigerian military headquarters. The group also said Dozim has not been associated with any crime or violence, neither in Biafra land nor in diaspora, and further challenged the federal government to explain what crimes Dozim committed to be declared wanted. Nigerian Labour Congress has warned the Independent National Electoral Commission not to validate the Labour Party National Convention schedule for March 27, 2024. NLC issues the caution in a letter addressing to the chairman of the INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, while in a letter by the NLC solicitors Falana and Falana's chamber dated March 22, 2024. The NLC accused the Labour Party chairman Julius Harborough and his associates of planning an illegal convention in defense of court order, adding that such a national convention was illegal due to standing court ruling that declared the Labour Party's statutes and other inclusive conventions. The NLC, in a letter signed by the Marshal Abubakar, threatened the legal action if INEC failed to comply with the demand, stressing that INEC would restrain officials of the Commission from undermining the due administration of justice and respect for the rules of law by attending the illegal convention. Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project has advised President Bola Tinubu to stop the payment of pension to former governors and their deputies. This is coming after, in 2017, Sarah filed a suit seeking the reprisal of pension for former governors and their deputies across all states of the Federation, while in 2019, Julius Aluremi Ogbuntoyimbo of the Federal High Court in Ikoyi, Lagos State, ordered the federal government to recover pension collected by former governors serving as ministers and members of the National Assembly. The ruling Salaf said was blatantly turned down by former President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, while the organization stated in a letter dated March 23 and signed by the Deputy Director Kowole Oluwadare, asked President Bola Tinubu to follow the footsteps of Abia State Governor Alex Oti. In his statement, Serap urged Tinubu to emulate the good example of Governor Alex Oti of Abia State by immediately obeying the judgment ordering the federal government to recover pension collected by former governors and to challenge the illegality of the state pension laws permitting those involved to collect such outrageous pension. President, Christian Association of Nigeria, Daniel Oko, has urged Christians to be beacon of hope and agents of change despite the situation in the country in the spirit of Palm Sunday celebrations. The CAN president disclosed the plea in a message to Christians on Sunday and urged them to emulate the virtues of unity and exemplified by Christ, stressing that Palm Sunday is a Christian feast celebrated on the last Sunday before Easter to commemorate the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem as contained in a biblical account of the four Gospels. Oko also called on Nigerians to set aside their differences, prejudice, and grievances like the people of Jerusalem in the biblical account, to foster harmony, reconciliation, and understanding, adding that it's time for adversary love can conquer all. The CAN president refreshed Christians to be beacon of hope and agents of positive change in their communities, while extending a hand of friendship to our neighbors, showing kindness to the marginalized and upholding justice for the oppressed. 2023 presidential candidate for the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has urged Nigerians to use the final stretch of Latin season to seek divine intervention for the country. His message was contained in a series of posts on his X account, said the week-long activities of the Holy Week marked a deep resemblance of the passion, death, and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is a core of the Christian's faith, stressing that since February 14, 2024, when the Latin season started, Christians have continued to fast, pray, and show brotherly love to one another through giving to the poor. Peter Obi also urged Nigerians to use the final stretch of the Lenten season to seek divine intervention for the countries, adding that the activities of the Holy Week present us the opportunity to soberly reflect on the many challenges facing people individually and collective as a nation to ask for God's divine intervention. Joint Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian University, Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational Association Institutions, and the National Association of Academic Technologists of the university says they will end the ongoing 7 days and 3 days warning strike by midnight Sunday, respectively. This is coming after judges of NASU and NASU has for about a month called for attention of the government to its exclusion from the payment of the withheld salaries, which it commenced payment for the Academic Staff Union of Universities in February. Their salaries were withheld with the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari's invoke a no-work, no-pay policy against Asanu Nats, who embarked on a strike that lasted 8 months, 4 months, and 5 half months, respectively, in 2022, while Nats also joined and began a 3 days warning strike on Wednesday. The national president judge of NASU and NASU, Mohammed Ibrahim, explained that all the union would resume on Monday, while lamenting that the government is yet to respond to the union's demand, adding that the federal government had not paid the non-teaching staff and would meet with the National Executive Council to decide the next line of action. And now to business reports. The Nigerian federal government announced that applicants of its 50,000 presidential conditional grant scheme for citizens across the 774 local government areas, which watch out for SMS to link application with a national identity number. The Minister of Trade, Industry and Investment, Doris Ukaza Anita, discloses in a notice she posted through her X-handle account on Sunday. The minister stressed that the applicant's name must tally, without which there will be no processing in line with the Central Bank of Nigeria's name account number linkage requirements. The scheme, which was expected to commence on March 9, 2024, would offer financial grants without repayment obligation to eligible small businesses owners in Nigeria. 31 state governments are expected to refund the Central Bank of Nigeria the total of 340 billion naira to pay workers' salaries between 2015 and 2023. The document also stated that the subnational could not pay the outstanding that had a loan default on 1.31 billion naira as of September 2023. The fund, which was facilitated through the salaries bailout facilities and strategic intervention by the CBN aimed at alleviating the fiscal pressure faced by the state, was part of over 10.3 trillion naira intervention fund provided by the Apex Bank under the immediate former CBN Governor Godwill Emefiele. In contrast, the current Governor Olayemi Kasodo stopped the program, stressing that the APEC Bank would not continue to fund more intervention programs amidst the current economic crisis. The program, which was being closed according to its status report, involved key stakeholders such as benefiting state governments, Deposit Money Bank, the Federal Ministry of Finance, and the Accountants General of the Federation, all of whom play a post-call role in implementing and managing the bailout package. The development also means that the respective wage bill of the affected states surpass their various internally generated revenue, rising concern about workers' productivity and state governments' efficiency in internal revenue generation, and the 24 states, including Bayelsa, Ondo, Yobe, Sokoto, Taraba, Plateau, Oyo, Niger, Nasarawa, Kogi, Kebbi, Katsina, Jigawa, Gombe, Ekiti, Ebonyi, and Borno, while others, the Borno State, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Abia, and Delta states. Price of Brent crude oil have dropped at the international markets from $87.61 to $885.61. Nigerians Brass Rivers and Kwaibo have both reduced in price to $89.26, but a downturn trend in the price of crude oil in the global oil market was blamed on weaker United States gasoline demands data and reports of the United Nations draft resolution calling for the ceasefire in Gaza, and through gasoline inventories fall from the seventh week from 3.3 million barrels to 230.8 million gasoline product supply, approximate for products demand slipped below 9 million barrels. Oil prices were also pressured by confirmation that the U.S. drafts a United Nations resolution calling for a ceasefire that will allow the release of 40 Israeli hostages in return for 100 of Palestinians detained in Israel's jail. Still ahead, international tidbits. People in Senegal are voting for a new president after a week of political fighting. 17 candidates are on the ballot, each hoping to replace President Macky Sall, who is barred from running again after reaching the two-term limit. This is coming after the election has been due to take place last month, but Sall postponed it while targeting deadly opposition protests and a democratic crisis. Senegal has until then been praised as the best version of the democracy in the West African, and 7 million people are eligible to vote in Sunday's election. Among those in the running for Senegal's top job in the governance BBY coalition candidate, former Prime Minister Amadou Ba, he strongly challenged is seen as the Bassirou Diomaye Faye, who was released from the jail just last week after being detained since April 2023 on charge of insurrection which he said were politically motivated. Results were expected within days, and second round is likely because a large number of contestants, a candidate needs more than 50% of the votes to be declared the winner. Ukraine says it has knocked out 2 landing ships, communication centers, and other infrastructure used by Russian Black Sea Fleet of annexed Crimea. Ukraine General Staff said the Yamel and the Azov ship has been destroyed, while the Russian installed governor of the port of Sevastopol and said 10 Ukraine missiles have been shot down. Russia also launched a missile and drone attack on the capital Kyiv and the region of Lviv, and Kyiv residents took shelter in metro stations as the attack began. Officials said their defense has shot down 18 Russian missiles and 25 drones with only minor damage, while about 20 Russian missiles and 7 drones targeted critical infrastructure in the western region of Kyiv, and no damage has been reported. Russian President Vladimir Putin says the Friday concert attack is barbaric act of terrorism and has vowed to punish the perpetrators. He also accused Ukraine of preparing a window to help the suspect escape, while Kyiv has not denied any role in the attack. Eyewitnesses said suspected gunmen in camouflage clothing opened fire on people at a concert in a Kosciuszko City Hall near Moscow and did not indefinitely pin the attack on Ukraine, but referred to assassination by American officials that a bunch of Israeli Islamic State was behind it. Ukrainian officials have repeatedly denied having anything to do with the attack, and American officials have said there is no evidence of Ukrainian involvement. Meanwhile, Russia has arrested 11 people, including all 4 gunmen suspected of carrying out the attack. Pope Francis sent prayers to victims of the concert hall attack in Moscow, calling the violence an inhuman act that offended God. The pontiff presided over Palm Sunday Mass in front of the crowd. The Vatican estimated at 25,000 people, but spoke in a weak, flattering voice and did not deliver his homilege as planned, but appeared in good spirit following Mass, however, circling the Pisa smell and waving at the crowd from his vehicle. Francis has suffered a number of health issues in recent years, from knee and hip pain to an inflamed colon and hernia surgery last week. Sunday's in surgical celebration marked the start of Holy Week, in which the Pope presided over the series of important events leading up Easter, Christianity's most important holidays. And now to sports news. Scott Mito, a former left-back for Chelsea, has criticized Raheem Sterling's technical football skill, especially in striking the ball. Sterling have been facing a lot of criticism lately, with the recent FIFA Cup match against the Leicester City marking a low point. He missed a one-on-one and a penalty in a match, leading to jeers from his own fan. Despite this, Sterling remained committed to winning over fans and helping bring more trophies to Chelsea. Mito has raised concern about Sterling's ability to strike the ball, questioning his sustainability for free kick and penalties. However, he also acknowledged Sterling's outside talent as a footballer. Central back Kenneth Moreau is expected to start Nigerian clash with Mali on Tuesday night after missing the face friendly against Ghana due to the training ground injury. Moreau was an unused substitute against the Black Stars, with the Kasim Passa player and Kelvin Bassi unavailable for the game's. Interim head coach Finn George named Benjamin Taminu in the starting lineup. Taminu, who plays for Tanzania outfit ESU SC, is expected to make a way for the experience's defense against the Tanzanians. Mero is most senior international at Findi's disposal in Makache, Morocco. Brentford midfielder Frank Onyeka and Bassis are unavailable for the game. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta is a keen admirer of Nottingham Forest Morgan Gap White and would be tempted into a summer move. Forest would be forced to sell off some of their Pizard assets after they were found to have breached the Premier League profits and sustainability rules. The club has since been slapped with a 4-point dedication as a result. Forest exceeded a €61 million annual loss threshold as $34.5 million. And now Arsenal could try and exploit their predicament and are mulling over a move to Gibbs White as the summer transfer window grips closer. Gibbs White arrived at the City ground in 2022 in the €42.5 million move from Wolves. He has established himself as one of their star players ever since, with 9 goals contribution across all competitions so far this term. The 24-year-old may have played this way until Arteta's transfer wish lists. And also entertainment news. Popular social media influencer and chairman of Delta State Sport Association, Maurice Moye, said famous Nigerian actor Amechi Monago is dead. Moye disclosed this on Sunday through his X handle. According to him, he was deeply heartbroken by the actor's death. Recalled that barely a week ago, the 61-year-old Nollywood actor, in a distressing video begging Nigerians for financial help for his kidney transplant. On November 27, 2023, the actor's related Tonyo Owanwick Monago confirmed that he was down with kidney disease. During this career, Monago has appeared in dozens of films, including Aki and Popo. Popo, one of his most famous roles, which he played the father of the mischief-making exhibitants teenagers. Monago's death followed that of Mr. Ibu John Okafor, who died on March 2, 2024. Human rights group known as International Observers in the Pursuit of Justice has called on the Chief Coroner of Lagos State, Adeyo Oshotobi, not to be biased in the ongoing request into the death of the late singer Oladimi Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. A statement by its chairperson Victoria Janalowski, the group raised concern over now how Mohbad's case is being handled and further call for equity, fairness and justice in the matter, adding that every witnesses should be called on and allowed to tell their side of the truth freely without any fear of intimidation, stressing that such witnesses should be